Previously on Dual Destinies.
Okay, old bag. This is Mission Command. Take off your helmet. Ah, my helmet had disappeared. Whoa, God.
Okay, so where were we?
He did. Again. For the third time now. Soon to be 4. Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up. Jeez, dude. Wow. I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth. My God. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck the astronaut. Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle-level elevator? Middle level. Oh, I hate the V. I hate the letter V. I just hate it. I was nervous. I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route. I think. I took Route 10. In Pokemon Black and White because I like the music there. I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. I'll get it right this time. I hope. Probably. It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court. Accuracy, schmaccuracy. I can't even see. My escape route. Let's see, my escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator. That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. Oh, boy. I used that ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we could make our escape that way. Booyah. See? Now we're out. And the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Terran here? Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? It almost goes without saying, but yeah, that capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With a spacesuit on, clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also important. I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is riding on your testimony. Oh, I know. I think I haven't heard that a million times, but I don't care anymore. Maybe I am guilty after all. Wonder if you can see the stars in prison, but it's more comfortable than a spaceship. Finkle and Einhorn. Let's see. My escape route. What I said before was a mistake.
Hold it!
Okay, I don't even need to press this, but I will anyway. How can you mistake such a basic fact? Hey, everybody makes mistakes, but try thinking about Finkle and Einhorn instead. From Earth, it takes 4 light years to travel to our nearest neighboring star. So you see, compared to the vast expanse of space, human error is insignificant. I wish you'd consider it just a little more significant than 0. Enough jabbering, get on with your testimony. So this guy is so depressed. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe, probably. I'm just gonna skip that when you get to the capsule and claim my arms.
Hold it!
I don't know how you could have gone down a ladder with all that, but... Granted, that route does exist. So to recap, you had clay over your right shoulder and the capsule in your left hand? Something like that. I'm not big on positions, you know? So even though clay was really, really heavy, couldn't afford to carry him and all his Twinkies with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet. You know what you have to do with that statement. Justice Dono. Yeah, I know. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. It's time to present some evidence. So Mr. Starbuck escaped with clay in the capsule, which means It's just like in the footage. I can see why he couldn't run, though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. That's 400 pounds! That's how much Shantae weighs, and me, myself, and Irene. Plus he had to ensure the safety of that capsule. I don't think I could have even walked under those circumstances. You with your skinny ass? There ain't no way, man. Walking straight forward is probably about all I would have been able to manage. Let's see, you're on my escape route. What I said before was a mistake. I remember now, took a different route. Guess I lay on my upper level. Oh, so there was only 3, my bad. I mean, I just don't know if I have a way to say, you know, the ladder thing. So you can look at the diagram. The diagram has the ladder on it. Maybe if I present it, it'll let me say the ladder. I could have sworn they already addressed that, though. They said you couldn't have gone down the ladder, but maybe that was me saying that and just thinking that they said it.
Objection!
Ah, I guess it was. Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? The truth? Huh. The truth is out there. Let's see, the Earth is blue? No, that's not right. It's not blue. So I guess the Earth isn't blue. Yeah, that's it. Damn. The truth, Mr. Starbuck, it's right there in front of your face. The oxygen concentration is super low in this area. Prepare the emergency oxygen. It's better that there's less oxygen, considering what's about to happen. Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please help draw the truth out from him. How am I supposed to do that? Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Huh? Not as long as this was along the escape route. Beep.
Take that!
Beep beep. Why don't you back up that trash? To get down from the upper to the middle level where the corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck? Of course. That's the only way we could escape.
Objection!
Well, pray tell, how strong are you? Mm-hmm. Well, you can do a lot of things when you're under... The human body doesn't even know its own strength sometimes. Oh.
Objection!
But you weren't on the moon. But the Space Center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other, is impossible, wouldn't you say? Oh. So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb down that ladder with your arms full? I can't believe it's come to this. But Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now! Tell that asshole. Engineer, where's that engineer? Oh my god. Oh, what? What? Is he... Huh. Okay, I mean, I guess that actually just happened. I don't even know anymore. Now then, Mr. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground? Yes, I apologize for losing control. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Oh. I don't think he is. I don't think he can do it. I think he's lost his mind. What is going on? This isn't the Mr. Starbuck I know. Oh my god, something crazy just crossed my mind. Something absolutely crazy. Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Detonate look sort of similar. No. That's crazy. Don't they sort of have slightly similar facial structure? I don't know, man. I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect. Oh. Prosecutor Blackwell, don't give him an explanation. Oh my god, these people always have something they want to keep secret. You know, that gets them in trouble. Didn't I already state that Spaceboy is, ironically, terrified of going into space? That's why he took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Too bad there's nothing there now. I sense things are about to nosedive. You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be? Somebody give it to you while you were asleep? But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened. Ugh. So I know, I'm in the audience right now just shaking my head, like, what is even happening here? Can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Maybe he doesn't remember anything because it isn't actually him. Oh my gosh. Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Why did he just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going into space. Finkle and Einhorn. Maybe I really did do it. Which brings us to the answer of our original question, of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. He just dropped the dead body and then climbed down the ladder himself. Maybe. Yeah, so he just dropped the body, right? Oh boy. Oh my, I see. And then the defendant could climb down with his free hand.
Objection!
So, but he would have to already know that he was dead to do that. I know. Oh yeah, like bruises and stuff. So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Thanks! Oh, I'm so smart, yes. Oh, jeez. You know, what is this? An air horn? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. I mean, well, there was an explosion, you know? Like, it could have been then. I am, for the fracture easily when struck.
Objection!
I don't think so. Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave its mark on the body. Yet according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. So what you gotta say about that? You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence!
I don't think so. A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological advances and is made of the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. But not knives, apparently, but anyway. So falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection!
Apollo's not gonna let it go, man. Shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? Nope. It should. And yet through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way to its target. What are the chances? Is it possible the knife was, like, blasted into him by the explosion? There would have just been a knife sitting around somewhere, and I doubt it, but... You forget that Arkelo is an astronaut himself, with knowledge of how the suits work. Uh-huh. He's got me there. Oh yeah, it has. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket, and dropped the body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made sure the camera recorded them. And now I'm going to stop the music, for there's no room for debate about these facts. It is clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Wow. We were just starting to get somewhere, and then, well, there you go. Here, the report regarding the astronauts' oxygen tanks. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment across the river Styx. Damn, dude. This guy is cool as a cucumber. Oxygen tank data. Okay, I already know what's going on here. I saw that right away when they showed the picture. Display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen rating. After the incident, the victim's tank was ruptured. Zero. The tank on Starbuck, who claims to have carried the victim, said it was 80% full. Oh. Ha ha ha. I'm done for. Go to prison instead of space! It's so stupid how there's like a meme that's about snake, but then there's also one that's like space. It's like, what? It's like with that perfect P, pushing the mouth together. Take heart, the bejeweled night sky is still beautiful, even when viewed through bars. Through bars, I mean. Not through bars. A fruit bar. I could go for a fruit bar right now. You mean the stars I seen from prison? No, I was talking about candy bars, you dumbass. That's right, your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. I mean, the way he describes it, no, it's not, actually. Okay, I'm ready to go. Take me there. Spaceship prison cell, fly me, my guilt, and my despair into the deepest, darkest space. And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together.
Objection!
No, let's not. Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope. Oh? Yes, Apollo? You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you were an incredible man. But that's not what I see here. He said you'd never give up your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation. He said that. So don't give up now and help me prove your innocence, damn it. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Terran. For Clay. You're wasting your breath. Finkle. Einhorn. Whoa. Oh, did it work? Wow, I love this shot. Hey, look at this. Do we have it back now? Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now. The rain is gone. Mr. Starbuck, you look so cool. I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission. Right, we'll both be fine. I'll prove you're innocent. You'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space. Man. I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe itself. There's no time to be whimpering and crying and talking about Finkle and Einhorn. Fuck Finkle and Einhorn! I can't let you and Clay down. Balderdash. The sun, the moon, the stars, the toilet.
The toilet.
Ready for launch? Begin the countdown. 5. Uh-oh. 4. 3. 2. 1. Everybody? I thought the bomb was going to explode. I feel like I've witnessed an actual rocket launch. Apollo, you did it! We didn't do shit! I can't take the credit, it was all Mr. Starbuck. More like it was all that other guy, that Terran dude, the Terraria guy. If you simpletons are done massaging one another's egos, no matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness? Gah! Can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. Oh, look! Oh. I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. I gotta have a drink of water, though. Is to turn the case on its head, right? Okay. Okay, now that 50 that you can see in the picture, is that... But maybe that's Clay's oxygen tank? Enough of this fossil baldness, let's have your verdict.
Objection!
Not yet. Man, that was a really... Something about that objection just now felt very... It's primal. Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be in quite a hurry to rush the verdict. What about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now? It says Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining while Mr. Turin's had 0. Okay, that's true, so who had 50? Then I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Dono. Oh, I definitely will. It's simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look here at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean. I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory. Oh, well, yes, Your Honor. Right away. Here I go. This is the evidence the oxygen tank report stands in contradiction to. Where is it? Oh, just security camera video. Here we go. Details. Got it. Gotcha.
Take that!
And how does this evidence present a contradiction? The problem is this part here. Aha. The first moment I saw that number, I knew we were going to have to point to it.
Take that!
Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as it carries Mr. Terran. It appears to say 50. Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining. The oxygen in the tanking. And maybe he shared some of it with the other guy. Can you do that? I don't know if you can. I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical. Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here?
Silence!
I'll tell you what's going on. I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase. What? But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it is the defendant carrying the victim's corpse.
Objection!
Maybe it does, though. I'm gonna bet you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it.
Silence!
In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of the mysteriously increasing oxygen? You'd better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as mere equipment malfunction. Erg? Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction. Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counter-argument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So do you think you can explain why the remaining oxygen level increased? Of course I can. Let me look at something again. They keep saying it increased. And I know why they're saying that, but I need to double check. Tanks were functioning properly at the time. So they checked the levels after this happened, and that's when it said 80. So it that doesn't make sense that he would be sharing it with the other guy then, does it? I don't really know. Because then for him to get it back up to 80, he would have to take it back. The thing to do at a time like this is turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried Clay. So this man with a 50 on his tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have been shown as 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. So what I should be asking is not why did the oxygen level increase, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased. Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here? Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting. I know, I'm just thinking out loud here, don't worry. Your Honor, I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. Holy shit. Oh my god. They were going the other way? I hope not. The victim was carrying the defendant. I mean, if we're going on the assumption he was still alive, then maybe... I'm gonna try that. They were going the other way. When I first saw that, I was like, wait a minute. What if it was the other way around? The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage. But it turns out, this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It wasn't Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran at all. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge. Holy shit, though. I mean, now we gotta go back and, like, rethink everything here. Ah! You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Terran? It's the only way the riddle of the increase in oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0. Yeah. This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
Dude, that's a weird way to prove it, but I guess whatever you gotta do. How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time. How did he descend the ladder with his arms full?
Objection!
Oh. Prosecutor Blackwell. You can't hurt me with a broken blade. Oh, jeez. Smash talking over here. It's true that we don't know how they got down that ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. Booyah. This fact alone shatters your claims. It opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. Damn. There were 2 people who claimed to be the first on the scene. But can we truly trust their statements? Let's see, the 2 people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? I think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police? Yeah, it's entirely possible. We might have to do a little more digging. Oh dear. It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of these first 2 people on the scene. Score! You got it. Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, can you please go show Detective Arm to the stand? No problem, Your Honor. Wait, what? What's going on? It's my moment to shine, man. Oh no. Oh no. This is bad. This just got really bad. Well, in the next episode, I think things are about to get rather explosive, wouldn't you say? Stay away from town on the 19th. It's going to be a little smoggy.
Stay away from downtown on the 18th. It's going to be a little, smoggy.